Hey, it's Jason Stallworth here, and in this video we're going to show you how to set up the Electro-Voice Evolve 50M column PA system. Now this setup is for an acoustic solo performance if you're a singer-songwriter, and this will also be relevant for a duo or trio. Now real quick, let's scope out the stage. This is a pretty large stage, pretty large venue here. We're actually at Keel and Curly Winery in Plant City, Florida. And as you can see, we've got a lot of ground to cover as far as sound goes, which makes the Evolve 50M perfect for this situation. The first thing I like to do is set the Evolve 50M subwoofer in an approximate area where I think it's going to be on the stage. But I don't want to set it up all the way yet. Before I do that, I'm going to assess where I'm going to be standing on the stage, where my mic's going to be set up and where I'm going to be playing and singing. And the reason for that is once you set up your mic area, you may decide you want the Evolve 50M in another place on the stage, and you don't necessarily want to move the system when it's all set up. If you need to move it, you'd want to take it apart, then move the sub, and then put the pieces back together. And that's just a safety precaution. So let's get set up, and I'm going to take you through this step by step. One of the great things about the Evolve 50M and all the Electro-Voice portable column systems is you can practically put this thing almost anywhere on stage. Now, the only thing, you don't want to be right in front of the system, but you can set it off to the side of where you're going to be performing, or you can have the system in front of you, and in most cases, you're going to be able to hear yourself just fine without a monitor. So we're now ready to set up the Evolve 50M, and I just want to point out how simple this is. You've got your sub component, and then you see the bag on the floor there. Well, that's the other two components. There are only three components to setting this up. So in the EV bag, we have two pieces here. We have got the pole, and then we have got the column speaker system here. So let's go ahead and set this up. So the pole has this little magnetic piece right here, and it's going to fit perfectly right into the subwoofer. Now all we have to do for the final step is just place our column speaker system on top of the pole. And as you can see here, it's going to fit perfectly in there on the top here. Just in case you were wondering what these big things are here, these are fans that the venue sets up. I'm in the Tampa, Florida area. It gets pretty warm in the summertime. The next thing we need to do is just plug in the power cable here. Now let's power up the system. Now you can control everything from the Evolve 50M system, from the interface here. You can also use the Electro-Voice QuickSmart app. Let's go through the controls on the system itself. So the first thing you do is press the mixer button here, and this is going to give our overall system options here. You can see I can already control the volume right there. That's the overall volume. You can press this master volume button in, push that in, and now you have some functions like mixer. You also have a mode. So we want it to stay on mixer for this purpose, for live acoustic performance. Go down to mode, and you've got several options here. You've got live, you've got speech, club, you've got music. Now in this case, it's recommended that we use the live mode. And this gives you an overall flatter EQ, but you can go into each channel and adjust your EQ, your effects, and so forth. And we're about to get into that. You can also make adjustments to the actual subwoofer. And of course, you can adjust the EQ for the overall system accordingly as well, right here. So you've got several channels here, and we're just gonna plug our microphone into input 1. So you can just press this master volume button in right here, just push that in, and you'll see already you've got some presets. We have this set on vocal mic, but you have several other presets that you can go through here. Voice filter, speech, acoustic guitar, which we're about to get to that next. But of course, since we're singing, we're gonna use the vocal mic preset. Now, you can go down from there and you can adjust your compression. You can also adjust your EQ for this channel, and you can also add effects to this channel. And there are two features for this. So if you wanted some reverb on one effect, and then you wanted to add some delay for another effect, you could layer the effects if you want to go that route. Even though this is a solo performance, I do set up a second microphone. My wife, she sings a couple of songs with me, and I may have a guest from time to time. So we're just gonna plug her mic into input 2 here. And as you can see, we have the preset vocal mic for her channel as well. So we'll just plug the other end of our XLR cable into our microphone. And in this case, we have got the Electro-Voice ND86 microphone. Now this is a great microphone for live vocals. It's It gives you that really crisp sound, and it brings more clarity to your vocals. Next, we're gonna plug in our acoustic guitar. So I'm gonna plug my guitar into input 3 here. And let's take a look at this channel. So we're gonna press that master volume button in again. And as you can see, I've already got the acoustic guitar preset on this channel. Now again, on all channels, you have the capability to adjust your compression, your EQ, and also your effects. You see I've got a little bit of effects on here. I've got some reverb, I believe, on the acoustic, which sounds really nice on the Evolve 50M. One quick note for guitar or any instrument or even vocals, if you're using something like an effects processor where you want to use that EQ and effects and compressor and so forth, you may want to consider setting the channel to a flat preset. And all you'd have to do is just go to the preset there and just scroll over until you see flat. Now, something that I like to do, because I do use external effects quite a bit for most of my shows, I just like to keep input 4 on the flat preset. And I will also typically have everything else off. Like you see the compressor's off here, my EQ is completely flat, and there are no effects on this channel. You can also control everything that we just went over with the Electro-Voice QuickSmart app. Just download that to your phone, your tablet, or iPad, and you have complete control over the system. You've got your main volume and EQ and so forth. You can also go into each individual channel, control the volume, the EQ, the compression effects, and so forth. So now we've got our mic set up and we've got our acoustic plugged in. We are almost ready to go. Now, one more thing I want to show you quickly is connecting a monitor. You can connect a monitor to the Evolve 50M. Again, most cases you probably won't need it, especially if you're performing a solo act. However, if you have a duo, like again, my wife, she'll come up and sing a few songs with me, or if you have a trio or more people on stage, you might want to consider using a floor monitor. In this case, you would just plug your monitor into the aux out here. And as you can see here, we are using the Electro-Voice PXM 12MP floor monitor. I hope this video helps you with your setup of the Evolve 50M system. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please leave those in the comments. And hey, if this was helpful, please give this video a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the Electro-Voice YouTube channel here. We're always putting out content to help you with your music needs. Until next time, keep playing music.